GTCO paid 8 naira 3 kobo per share in dividends over the last 12 months. Okomu Oil has already paid 40 naira per share in 2025, which is last year, and the final dividend hasn't even been declared yet. NIDF paid 4 naira 68 kobo per unit just last month. These are not projections, guys. These are payments that already happened to everyone who owned these companies. Now, here's the question nobody is asking. How do you build a portfolio where all these payments land in your account consistently year after year? That's the big question. Not by chasing the highest yielding number you see online, not by copying whatever stock someone posted on Twitter or on TikTok, but by building a system. I call it the 4-pillar dividend system. 4 stocks, 4 different jobs, one portfolio designed to pay you whether the market is up, down, or sideways. But if I show you the stocks and the system, I need to show you the chart, because if you don't understand this one thing, you can pick all the right companies in the world and still lose your money. Now let's jump right into the video. Let's go. See guys, when someone says a stock pays 8% dividend yield or 15% or even 30% dividend yield, because people make crazy claims online. See, the number is not fixed. It's a calculation at one specific moment in time, which is dividend per share divided by current share price. The dividend stays roughly the same. The share price moves sometimes a lot. Let me show you with a real example, GTCO. If you do your research using platforms like, let's say, investing.com or even stockanalysis.com, right now you see that GTCO is showing yields of around 8.45%, even as high as 11.99%. Those numbers are real, don't get me wrong, but they were calculated as lower historical prices. Today, GTCO's share price is 117 naira. Their total dividend over the last 12 months is 8 naira per share. 8 naira divided by 117 naira, that gives you a yield of 6.9%. That is your actual yield if you buy today and using their last dividend payment. Not the 11.99% that you see, not the 8.45% that you see, but 6.9%. Is 6.9% bad? No, it still beats some savings products in Nigeria. But the difference between 6.9% and 11.99% is the difference between buying when the price was lower and buying today. For example, let's say you invested in GTCO when it was trading at a 52 weeks low of 55 naira per share, and they paid a dividend of 8 naira 3 kobo. That gives you a yield of around 14.6%. If you use their price 6 months ago, which was around 95 naira, and they paid dividend of 8 naira, that gives you a yield of around 8.5%. Now, if you use today's price of 117 naira per share and the last dividend that they paid, which is around 8 naira, it gives you a yield of 6.9%. Same company, same dividends, 3 very different yields depending on when you entered into the stock. This is why I tell you to always calculate the yield yourself before buying. Don't rely on what anyone quoted last month. Prices moves a lot. The yield moves with them. And the second part of the chart, which I didn't tell you I was talking about, is that not only does the yield compress when prices rise, it can also look artificially high when a company is struggling. For example, if a stock price crashes from like 15 naira to 10 naira, and they paid 3 naira in dividends last year, that yield suddenly jumps and shows as high as 30%. You might be seeing, some people might be seeing it as an opportunity, but that is actually a clear warning. So you always want to ask, why is the yield high and why did the yield drop? Is it because the prices is low and the business is strong, or is it high because the price crashed and the business is in trouble? That question alone will save you from most dividend investing mistakes. Now, let me show you the 4-pillar system. But before we jump into that, if this video is already making some kind of sense to you, you want to smash the like button so that this video can be pushed to more people so that they can understand the concept of dividend investing and not make bad investment choices. So smash the like button, guys, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't joined the family alone. Talking about the 4-pillar system, we'll start with the first pillar, which is the anchor, or you can call it the stability. For this particular pillar, you want to use stocks that can, stabilize your portfolio, bring in some balance, and we'll go with GTCO for this particular pillar. You see, every portfolio needs one stock that doesn't surprise you. Something you own, go to sleep, and wake up knowing that it's still there and still paying. That stock for me, like I said, is GTCO. Over the last 12 months, GTCO paid shareholders around 8 naira 03 kobo, or let's say cent. I don't want to use the word cent, let's say kobo per share. And they paid around 7 naira as the final dividend in April 2025, and 1 naira as interim dividend in October 2025. If you add that together, it's around 8 naira. Now, using the current price of 117 naira, it gives you a yield of 6.9%. Now, some of you might say, Micah, oh, that's not a nice yield. It's not high as I expected. And that's the point, guys. The Tico stock price has more than doubled over the past year or so. The yield compressed because the market repriced the company upwards. That is what happens when a company posts over 1 trillion naira in profit after tax. The yield may be lower than it used to be, but you're now holding a stock that has also given you significant capital appreciation on top of that income. The anchor is not supposed to give you the highest yield, right? The anchor is supposed to show up every year without drama. GTCO has paid dividends every single year without interruption since at least 2015. So for me, if I was to allocate some money while building my dividend portfolio, I would say 35% of my income or your income could go into this particular pillar. Moving over to the pillar 2, which is the grower. For me, I would pick Fidelity Bank for this. You see, your anchor protects you while your grower builds momentum. Your grower is a company where dividend is not just being paid, it is accelerating. Fidelity Bank in 2023, we can go back to the past actually, paid total dividends of around 0.85 kobo per share. Now, in their full year 2024, they paid 2 naira 10 kobo per share. That's a 147% increase in 1 year. At today's price of 20 naira, the yield of 2024 dividend is around 10.5%. I mean, they are yet to really drop their 2025 report, so we cannot really estimate or use that analysis. So that's why we went back to the past. But if we ask the question of what is really driving this yield of Fidelity Bank, well, their profit before tax in 2024 grew by 210% year on year, hitting 385 billion naira. In their first half of 2025, gross earning grew another 46% on top of that. This is a bank compounding its earning at a rate most institutions only dream about. I mean, they have some challenges when it comes to the court side of things, which is making their stock price not really hit its full potential because they have some issues. But I really do believe that Fidelity Bank has a history of paying dividends, and for me would be my grower when it comes to building my dividend portfolio. Full year 2025 reports are not yet out, but everything in the hedge fund says the trajectory is continuing upward so far. The yield today is 10.5%. The yield in 2 years, if earning continues in a good way, could be significantly higher on your entry price, right? So for pillar 2, I want to allocate maybe say 25% of my dividend portfolio money. By the way, if you have watched so far to this video and you have not yet subscribed, you are not doing well, please subscribe to the channel now. We need to get to 100,000 subscribers. Subscribe and let's continue. And if you want to know what I'm watching in real time, what's going on in my head when it comes to investment, the market, and other beautiful stuff, you want to use the link in the description and pinned comment to join my WhatsApp channel. Next is the pillar 3, which is the FX hedge. In here, we have Okomu Oil Palm. Now, I need to be honest with you about this particular company. If you're looking at Okomu purely as a yield play at today's price, it doesn't look exciting on paper. But before you scroll past Okomu Oil, let me show you what actually happened. The stock is currently trading between the range of 1,500 to 1,700 as of the moment of making this video. If you do your research, you see that Okomu Oil shows a yield of around 6.11%. But if you use the current price, that yield might even divide into half and range around 3% to 4%, right? One of the things you should be looking at when trying to invest in companies that have repriced and you look at their historical yields is to see if that company has the ability to grow their dividend payments, which could maybe stabilize the yield and make the yield still range around 6 or 7%. But if the company does not have the opportunity to grow its earnings to be able to pay higher dividends, then there are high chances that when you invest into that particular stock or company, you're going to be investing at a lower yield instead of investing in the stock that the yield could go higher as the price and earning grow higher. And for me, with the way I see Okomu and with the kind of innovation that is going on in the company, I would say that they have all it takes to actually grow earnings so that the yield does not go below that 5% region. My core thesis around Okomu is that they produce palm oil, their production is priced on the global commodities market, their costs are largely in naira, their revenue has dollar-linked pricing. So when the naira falls, Okomu Naira's revenue go up because they have some dollar-linked revenue sources. The same currency moves that crushes your savings account fuels Okomu's revenue. For me, I would say the dividend story for Okomu is still unfolding. Pillar 3 is not in this portfolio because it gives you the highest yield today. It's here because it gives you currency protection something nothing else in this portfolio actually provides in full scale. Finally, for our pillar 4, which is the wild card, we are going to go with the NIDF. You see, the last pillar is the one almost nobody in Nigeria is talking about, but it's somehow now gaining some momentum and attention. The NIDF, the Nigerian Infrastructure Debt Fund, managed by Chapel Hill Denham, the first listed infrastructure debt fund in Nigeria. This is not a bank, not a manufacturing company. This is a fund that lends money to critical infrastructure, power plants, telecom towers, seaports, water treatment facilities, and it pays you every quarter. For Q4 2025, NIDF distributed over 4.68 kobo per unit, which was paid in February 15, 2026. Annualize that, and you are looking at roughly 18.72% per unit per year. At today's price of around 115 naira per unit, that's a yield of approximately 16.2% quarterly, which is every 3 months. And the question is, why does this yield exist? Well, because NIDF is not yet widely held by retail investors. Most people are buying banks and consumer goods. This fund is doing its work quietly and pricing that obscurity into its returns. The fund has consistently outperformed its benchmark, which is the 10-year FGM bond. It maintains a 300 to 500 basis point premium on its loans. Now, this asset actually comes with some level of risk, and it's very important that you take note of the risk it comes with. And that risk is that the NIDF only listed on the NGX in 2023. It does not have a 10-year track record yet. Infrastructure lending carries long repayment timelines. Liquidity is thinner than a bank stock, meaning it can be difficult for you to exit when you want to exit, and this is why it sits at a 15% of the portfolio, not 35%. The yield is the highest, the complexity is the highest as well. You size it accordingly. Now, if we bring the 4 pillars and assets together, it is weighted 35, 25, 25, 15, giving you a blended yield of approximately 8.4% at current prices. That beats most savings accounts in Nigeria. It's competitive with most money market funds, and unlike a money market fund, the dividend per share can grow over time. Yes, it can grow. Money market funds, fluctuate sometimes, but this one can actually grow as the companies pay higher dividends. Now, if you look at this table on your screen, you can see that if you start with 500,000 naira and invest 20,000 naira every month into these different dividend instruments I've talked about, right? You see, at the end of the 50, if you start with a 500,000 naira initial capital, you'll be having 2.1 million naira in your closing account and a 176,400 naira in annual dividends from this 2.1 million naira, with 14,700 naira coming in every month. If you start with a million naira and invest 50,000 naira per month, by the end of the 50th year, you'll be having 5.2 million naira with a dividend yield of 436,000 naira and a monthly yield of 36,400 naira. If you start with 2 million naira and invest 100,000 naira every month, by the end of the 50th year, you're going to be having 10.8 million naira in your account balance and 907,000 naira in annual dividends with a monthly dividend of 75,600 naira. And let's say you start with 5 million naira and invest 200,000 naira per month, you're going to be ending the 50 year between 6.5 million naira and an annualized dividend of 2.23 million naira and a monthly dividend of 185,800 naira. Now, you're going to be wondering, how did I come up with the 26.5 million naira, the 2.2 million naira in the 50? Well, we also assume that we are able to grow our money by 15%, being very, very conservative per year, 15%. So if you are growing our money at 15% per year and also getting some dividends, it means that at the end of the 50, if you put everything together, you're going to be having that 26 million naira. And then if you consider the yield that is also coming in, you're going to be bringing in 2.23 million naira as well. So I hope that makes sense. And we can actually now scale this up to 5 million naira if we increase our opening balance. The truth is that this is not going to be as easy as it is spelled out here in the video, but if you're consistent, because consistency is very, very important, I'm sure that you can achieve the goal. And again, to really build a strong dividend portfolio in Nigeria, this is what you need to do. The first rule is that you want to reinvest all your early dividends. The first 2 years, you want to put in every kobo back into the assets, because compounding only works if you don't interrupt it. The rule number 2 is you want to buy more when the prices fall, especially if the fundamentals of the business or instruments does not change. A falling price means a higher yield on new money entering. So as long as the fundamentals have not changed, you want to buy when the price falls. Now, before you invest a single naira, here's how to check any dividend stock yourself. Check the recent declared dividends of any company you want to invest in and the history of payments. Then you also want to calculate the yield yourself. So you simply do the dividend that the most recent dividend that they paid, which is or the final dividend that they paid, because some companies pay interim and final. You put everything together. Once you sum up and you have gotten the final dividends, so you want to now do the final dividend that they paid divided by the current share price times 100. So I'm talking about today's price, guys, not last month. Use today's price. That's going to give you the yield. That number tells you what you're actually getting, not what someone quoted when the price was different. So that's it, guys. 4 pillars, one system, anchor for stability, grower for momentum, FX hedge for protection, and the wild card for yield. The market will move, prices will change, yields will shift, but a portfolio built on real earnings and real dividends survives all of that. Now, it's your turn, guys. Let me know in the comment section which pillar resonates with you the most. Don't forget to stay sharp, stay safe, and like always, invest wisely. Deal.